I have been out sick with a flu, and while I have been recovering, the Republicans continue to dismantle our democracy. A lot has been happening with redistricting, so I decided to create a handy little cheat sheet for you guys so we can all be aware of what's going on. So, let's get into it. I created this handy dandy chart that is very accurate as of today, October 17th, about what is going on in redistricting across the country. And I've broken it up into some different categories. First, we have the MAGA bootlickers. Then we have Antifa. We have court cases. And then we have other. So let's just start with the bootlickers. First, we have Texas. I've talked about Texas. They midterm redistricted. The maps were drawn. They passed them. There is a current court challenge. Next, North Carolina. Yesterday, while I was out sick, North Carolina announced that they also want to get into the redistricting game and are planning to come back for a special session. We have Missouri. Republicans again redrawn the maps. There's currently a court challenge with that. We'll see what happens. Next up, we have Kansas. I talked about Kansas earlier this week. The Kansas legislature appropriated $400,000 to focus on redistricting. They could use the money for other things, I'm sure, but that is going to happen. And then finally, Indiana. The legislature of Indiana recently this week said that they also want to get into the redistricting game. Um, Man baby JD Vance was there earlier this week. They're probably going to get into it. So far we have one, two, three, four, five. We have 5 states across the country who are MAGA bootlickers who have gotten on their knees for daddy to basically subvert our democracy. Once again, these people do not believe in democracy. Redistricting, unless there is a court order, should not be happening until 2030. Next up, we have Antifa, aka the resistance, the Democratic states that are trying to fight back. First, we have California with Prop 50. That is going to be on the ballot in November. I've talked about that before. If you're in California, make sure you register to vote and make sure that you vote yes on Prop 50. Maryland's been kind of like in and out talking about maybe they will, maybe they won't. I know a lot of people have been angry that more Democratic states aren't jumping into redistricting. Unfortunately, because of the way that state constitutions work, a lot of Democratic controlled states do not allow midterm redistricting. It's almost like Democratic states believe in democracy and Republican states do not. Interesting. And amidst all of this, there are some court cases that are going to impact potentially everything. Louisiana, there is a current case that is heard um, before the Supreme Court this week. We have Callis versus Louisiana, which is a case where a bunch of white voters are now saying that having a second majority black district in Louisiana is racial discrimination against them. That's fun. Love that. If the Supreme Court rules in favor of getting rid of the second majority black district in Louisiana, a lot of folks think that it's basically just striking down Section 2 of the Voting Rights Act, which is going to open the floodgates for all of the South basically to try to gerrymander and redistrict. And then finally, we have Ohio that's hanging out over here. Ohio is redistricting, but they are redistricting because they could not pass a bipartisan map. And the Ohio Constitution now says that if you can't pass a bipartisan map, you have to pass a 5 year map on a partisan basis, but you have to redistrict every 5 years. They're not going to pass a bipartisan map. They're just going to play the 5 year game. They have until November 30th to pass a map. So there's a lot going on. I'm trying to keep you guys updated.